Hello there! In this video I'm going to be discussing the Evoker build in Titan Quest, which consists of Dream and Earth masteries. As far as I can see, this class can be taken in a number of directions, since we've got Dream here, and Dream is quite a versatile mastery, so I think there's actually loads of ways you can go, but I think you can go as a melee hybrid, you can go as a mage, and even between those you can choose to be a strong petmancer or even a strong auramancer. Auramancer is one who hurts enemies with their aura. So let's go into the skills. I'll actually divide it into a melee and a mage kind of orientation. So let's discuss the melee hybrid first. The reason I say hybrid is because even though it's a melee character, you've got Earth Mastery, which is mainly a spellcaster, so it's going to be a hybrid kind of playstyle. So we'll begin with the Dream skills. As you can see, the important skills for a melee character like Phantom Strike, and we've got Psionic Touch, which is going to be your left mouse button skill, and then we've got the Lucid Dream tree, which is pretty much vital for any melee dream character. And then we've got some of the supporting skills. We've got Distort Reality, which is a good sort of crowd control skill, which will petrify the enemies. Now we also got Trances here and the pet Nightmare. Now Nightmare can be a really supporting pet. You don't have to really get him if you're going melee. You can do fine without him, but I think he can help you out if you do decide to go for him. Then you could either max him or you can just put a few points, like 5 points is quite good, with a Hypnotic Gaze. Also keep in mind of the Mastermind. That's the Mastermind skill. That's only if you're going for the core dweller as well in the earth. If not, then you can forget about that skill pretty much, because you won't need that much. Now with the Trance, usually I say go for Trance of Convalescence, and it is still a pretty great choice for this kind of build. But Trance of Wrath here is really good because you can deal a lot of damage with your aura. If you go to earth, you'll see Ring of Flame. Together, Ring of Flame and Trance of Wrath can be a really powerful combination. So that's perfect for auramancer builds, but I'd say even if you're not specifically auramancer, you could go for that as well. It's a pretty good combination. I've got other skills in it. As I mentioned, Core Dweller, if you do decide to go, if you've got enough spare skill points, because he does take up a lot of skill points. And then we've got other important melee related skills. We've got Earth Enchantment. Make sure to max Brimstone, because Brimstone will deal physical damage, and as a melee character you will want to deal physical damage. And we've got a couple of sort of helpful supporting skills buffs. We've got Heat Shield. 1 point is good in that because it will give you 15% physical damage resistance. You don't need that many more points after that because they won't actually contribute that much. And we've got 1 point in Stone Form as well, which is a good panic button skill. Additional skills you go for Volatility, at least 1 point is good here. And throw in a spell or two, like Eruption. Eruption is really helpful. Or you can go for Volcanic Orb alternatively. You could really go for, change around things, but you could, instead of Core Dweller, for example, you might want to go for Volcanic Orb and Eruption, so you have 2 of those skills, but at the cost of a pet. So it's up to you, really. And I'll go mention the Mage. It's actually very similar, except for a few skills, like you're not going to go for Phantom Strike, because you won't need that as a Mage. If you see here, I went for Trance of Convalescence because it will help you to keep you alive, but once again, you can go for Trance of Wrath as a Mage as well. I thought as a mage you usually would prefer to keep the enemies away from you at a distance, but if you do see that they're coming close quite a lot, then Trance of Wrath together with Ring of Flame and Earth will actually be a powerful aura which will hurt the enemies and kill them before they can get too close. And then we have the usual skills, and I said Nightmare with the Mastermind skill if you're going for Core Dweller as well. And if we go for Earth again, once again very similar setup, pretty much everything is similar apart from the Earth Enchantment. Here as a mage, you're not going to need points in Brimstone. Instead, you would want to max out the base skill of Earth Enchantment, because that will actually deal fire damage. And that's what you're going to be dealing as a mage. So yeah, as I said, the Core Dweller again, and Eruption, and you can pick Volcanic Orb if you've got spare skill points. You will have some spare skill points here, so you could go for that. And yeah, that's the Evoker build. As I said, there's a variety of things you can do. You can be a good petmancer here, or a good auramancer, or a melee hybrid, or just a regular spellcaster mage. Quite a lot of different ways to do. And so let's mention the stat points then. As a melee hybrid, you're going to be mostly investing in, it's going to be a ratio of 2 in strength, 1 in intelligence, and 1 in dexterity. So that's how attribute points will go. And as a mage, you're going to be mostly concentrating on intelligence, and maybe a tiny bit in dexterity. You won't really need strength or anything. and if at any point you do run out of energy really fast, then just add a few points in energy basically, and it will help you not get drained too fast. Yeah, that's about it. That's Evoker build, which is actually a very interesting class. As I said, you can go in a number of directions and raise havoc basically. So yeah, that's about it. Bye then.